Hello, nerd boxers, and welcome to another episode of the Popcorn Confessional News. It's been a little bit. And on this episode, we are talking about Terrifier 3, what to expect, and when you should expect it.
Insidious is set to expand its universe with a new spin-off, Thread, starring Mandy Moore and Kumail Nanjiani.
We are getting another Resident Evil movie.
Terrifier 1 is coming to theaters next month. Have you purchased your tickets?
And we have a contest update. Just to let everybody know, we're going to do a contest update because, frankly, I'm tired of always saying 2,000, 3,000, blah, 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 blah. So, at the end of this video, we're scrolling down at the bottom right now. You'll see a list of names of people that won prizes that haven't claimed them. Please claim your prizes. You won posters. So, reach out to us. There's a link on the channel for our link tree. Go there. You can contact me on Twitter. You can find me on the Facebook page, or you can find us in the Facebook group. So reach out to us so we can get those posters out for you. So what we're going to do is at every 500 milestone, so at 3,000, at 3,500, at 4,000, we'll send out something special. It won't be a poster, but it'll be something just as cool.
Terrifier is coming to theaters for one day only on July 19th.
That is unless you blow up ticket sales and you demand more showings. Do it.
After the success of Terrifier 2 this past October and its influence over the box office, with several indie horror films getting wider releases in theaters than they would have previously gotten, Terrifier is set to make its return to 700 theaters. It had a limited release in 2018 and then caught fire when it dropped on Netflix, quickly taking over the horror genre.
Another horror indie gem that is coming to theaters this month that I am really excited for. And when I first saw the trailer, everybody in my house was making fun of me over the reactions that I had just watching that trailer.
I mean, we make fun of them anyway, but it's all good. Mad Heidi comes to theaters on June 21st, and like Terrifier 2, the film raised $2 million of its $3.5 million budget through crowdfunding across 19 countries. Continuing our trend of defiling children's stories, we catch up with a grown-up Heidi who is living in the Swiss Alps with her beloved grandfather. But when her goat-herding lover is brutally murdered by government thugs for distributing illegal cheese, Heidi seeks vengeance that will bring her toe-to-toe against fierce female prison inmates, cheese-fueled Swiss super soldiers, ninja nuns, and more.
Mad Heidi, there'll be a review for that, but I don't know if you're gonna like it. I know I will like it, but you gotta go out there and support these independent films, especially...
I'm a little confused by the illegal cheese distribution.
You haven't seen the trailer yet.
No, I have not.
It's all explained. It's all explained in there.
That's just funny to me.
But that one is going to be packed full of gore. And the independent filmmakers in this one, when they first filmed the movie, they released it on their website. So it's nice to see that it's getting distribution now. According to Bloody Disgusting and an online newspaper, thesudbury.com, Sony Studios is taking another stab at a live-action Resident Evil film. Sudbury, the city, which was one of the filming locations for Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, will be receiving $2 million in preparation for filming. Now, nothing has officially been announced by Sony, but the title for this latest film is rumored to be The Umbrella Chronicles, and that story may be based on the video game of the same title that was released in 2007, where there are 3 stories that take place: the train derailment, the mansion incident, and Raccoon's destruction. The first story follows STARS operatives traveling on a train to a training facility where they discover that they are being stalked by James Marcus, co-founder of the Umbrella Corporation. In this story, we see the introduction of another tyrant, codenamed Ivan. The second story, we see Jill Valentine encounter Nemesis, and in the final story, we see Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine as they and other armed bioweapon activists investigate the Umbrella Corporation's final stronghold in Russia. Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City released at the height of the pandemic, where people really weren't going to the movies to see films. It got mixed reviews upon its release, but it did make $42 million on a $25 million budget. I went to see it in theaters 3 or 4 times because I enjoyed it, and then went with our kids separately because they wanted to see it again or didn't have time to go at certain times. And it was very good. It incorporated a lot of things that were in the video games, almost shot for shot. And I thought it was a hell of a lot better than anything that we've gotten so far. And it was leaps and bounds over the TV series.
That god awful thing.
Yes.
Even how many episodes we get through? I don't even know.
I think 2.5.
2.5, I believe, is what we got through. And then we're like, you know what? This isn't holding our interest. Let's shut it off.
That was just, it was just so bad.
It really was. And so many people were like, oh, you got to get past the first couple episodes. Dude, we did. And that's what made us turn it off. So that isn't what it was. I mean, I'm sorry. You know, if you love the show, that's great for you. Not for us.
Now, I can understand where some of the complaints come from in regards to the movie because some of the scenes were kind of rushed. Some of the characters will change a little bit. But the movie's good.
I liked it. And, you know, I don't pretend to be a fan. I don't play video games really at all. You know, unless it's like that stupid one where you're chopping up food or whatever. Boomerang Foo, where you are food and you're trying to kill the other members of the food family. I get pretty violent when I play that game.
Or if you're kicking my ass in the House of the Dead.
That too, because I'm really good at killing people apparently.
So I am definitely looking forward to this. Will they toss Nemesis in? I don't know. I think maybe they'll kind of hover around the train story and then traveling overseas. That's where I think we'll see the 2 stories kind of play out because they did leave it open. And thank God it's not going to be a reboot of the series because I can't go through that again. Stop making them over. Just continue what you started.
Yeah.
And don't go Matrixy.
In a Deadline report, we are getting a 6th Insidious film, only this one is extending the universe. Thread, an Insidious tale, will star Mandy Moore and Kumail Nanjiani. In this story, we follow husband and wife, Nanjiani and Moore, who enlist the help of a spell to travel back in time so that they can prevent the death of their young daughter.
I only thought it was a matter of time before they expanded this universe. And honestly, I thought where we left off in the last movie with the young Elise, that's where we were going to pick up from.
Yeah, and have her, like, her encounters with the younger Josh. With the 5th film in the franchise set to release on July 7th, the franchise currently sits at a total box office of $542.9 million and is on the cusp of being James Wan's 3rd franchise to enter the top 10 highest grossing horror franchises of all time.
Are you excited for this? Because I think Nanjiani will be able to pull off a more serious role. Comedians tend to have that range that they don't get credit for, so I think he'll be able to do it.
Yeah.
As much as I like his comedic timing and his delivery, I don't want to see that in an Insidious movie.
No.
I want it to be him doing something different for a change.
No, and I think, you know, when his roles have called for some seriousness in, like, whatever part he was playing, he was able to bring that without any issue at all. So, I mean, remember, he did The Big Sick, which was based on his own life, and while it was, you know, had comedy infused in it, it was a serious matter. And I think that, you know, he has that range, and like he said, most comedic actors do.
Yeah, I still haven't figured out if him being in Internals enhanced the movie because of his comedic delivery in that, or it hurt it. So, let us know what you think, and if you're excited for this one.
I think the Eternals hurt the Eternals.
Yeah. Deadline also broke news that Terrifier 3 is officially greenlit, and Coven Films is preparing to pull together a budget that is in the 7-figure range. Now, just to recap, for people that do not know this, Terrifier 2 was crowdfunded and had a budget of $250,000.
Which they blew out of the water.
Doesn't look like a $250,000 film. No.
Absolutely not.
Terrifier 2 made $15 million at the box office in a limited theater run and in a limited number of screenings. As expected, the creative team of Damien Leone and Phil Falcone are back, along with stars David Howard Thornton and Lauren Lavera. I would also expect that the 2 men who created a lot of the magic are back as well, cinematographer George Stuber and Paul Wiley for score. Director Damien Leone stated,
Terrifier 3 will be another boundary-pushing addition to the horror genre, continuing the no-holds-barred, uncompromising exploits fans of the franchise have come to expect and celebrate. If you thought Art the Clown's Reign of Terror in Part 2 was extreme, you haven't seen anything yet.
I am so excited for this film, and having gone back and started rewatching some older films like the Indiana Jones franchise, the Karens need to shut up about the gore, because in Raiders of the Lost Ark, rated PG, we saw people's faces melting off.
I was gonna say, that was rated PG, Karen, and they had people's faces melting right off, and being a person that had never saw the first one until I was in my 40s, and then just recently rewatching the first one and then watching the second one, I was like, what? PG? All right, where's all the Karens? And honestly, if you don't like these types of movies, then don't watch them. Why is it not that simple anymore? I can't deal with it. Listen, when I was younger, if I just wasn't interested in something, guess what? I just skipped past it. I didn't watch it. Who cares?
And I can't really, when I think about it, it's like we've kind of just gone backwards. Like the 80s,
You
like
think?
Scanners. There was a guy's head that literally blew up on screen, and I think I saw that on TV as part of a Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon matinee. So the gore is fine. We're just going back to the way it was. So people need to pull up their belts, or the people need to just stop.
Put on your big girl panties.
That's what I was going to say.
Seriously, just put them on and just cut the shit. It's so stupid. It really is. If you don't like what you're seeing on your Facebook feed, scroll past it. If you don't like this certain type of movie, don't watch it. It's as simple as the things that we share, that I've shared so many times on Facebook. If you don't like religion, don't have one. If you don't like cigarettes, don't smoke them. If you don't like alcohol, don't drink it. If you don't like the fucking movies, don't watch them. But don't complain about it.
Yes. Now, filming begins in November or December of this year, with it being expected that the movie will be released next October. Don't forget, this October, maybe even September, we get to see the follow-up film from Fuzz on the Lens, which is Stream. So you'll want to check out that one while we're waiting for the next Terrifier to come out. Anyway, so are you excited about Terrifier 3 coming out? Let us know by dropping that in the comments. Let us know if you want a prize. Let us know what you think of Resident Evil. Do you need some space from that? Or are you fine with it picking up from the last film? Anyway, until the next news drop happens, hopefully it won't be months in between, because when you take off a month from doing filming and editing, you fall behind on content. So I'm about caught up. So, see ya.
See ya.
Oh, my feet hurt.